You've heard us talk about them. They're in, and they're on the website.
Absolutely. Our brand new America's Diesel podcast, branded bills, badass, flex fit, performance material, sweat stain resistant. It literally feels like it cools your head.
I don't know how that's
amazing.
possible, but somehow it is. Yeah, you can rock it. You know, I'm more of a flat bill kind of guy. You can do that. You can curve it. For all you taco holder guys, you can even throw that in there.
Yeah.
And then snap back with a little bit of the flex fit.
Yeah.
Big head approved, small head approved.
And it's extremely comfortable. I almost guarantee, I say almost guarantee. No, I guarantee this is the most comfortable hat you will ever wear. And the logo, rubber, awesome.
Yeah.
Came out great.
Super detailed rubber on there, so it's never going to fade on you. If you want to get one of these in your hands, they are $50, shipped to the lower 48, plus tax, if applicable in your state. Just go on the dieselpowerproducts.com, search hat, look for the fantastic Jam and Eagle logo, and pick yourself up some before they're out of stock.
Yeah.
You're listening to America's Diesel Podcast. All right, let's get the show on the road. Winter is coming. Literally, it's coming this Friday. Coming this Friday to a city near you, at least in Spokane. Today is currently October 19th.
It's like 75 degrees out right now.
Yeah, and according to the old weather app on the iPhone, today's 72, tomorrow's Thursday, it's 69. Hey! And Friday, 51.
Yeah.
And then 47, and then 52. But the best part is, like, at night, it goes from, like, 39, 43, 40, 39, 35, 35, 34, 30, just...
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight from, like, sunny to all clouds and rain.
Can you say winter's coming in hot? Because
Sure. Coming in with that hot, cold. That icy hot.
Ooh, yeah.
Icy hot.
Yeah, it's like we have icy hot weather right now.
We do.
It's hot. And
It literally is. It's the time of the year where your either your office or your truck or car is basically a sweatshirt receptacle.
Yeah.
Because when you leave the house in the morning, it's like sweatshirt weather. It's sweater weather.
Oh, totally.
100%.
Yeah.
But then right about noon, sweatshirts, no way. Not even
Yeah.
a chance. They
Yeah.
just end up in your car. And
This
you
is
get
the
home.
time of season where those pants that are designed to turn into shorts like that. This is the time of the year that those are made.
They've been waiting.
They've been waiting, and they wait for like literally like a 1 week window, like where those are okay.
Those cargo pants, cargo shorts, dudes.
Did you ever have a pair of those? I had a pair of those.
the cargo shorts
the
or
zip-
zipper pants?
Well, the ones that zippered off into shorts.
I couldn't do it.
I'm pretty sure I zippered them off and I lost the bottom half, so they're just turned into
I,
shorts.
I always liked the idea of being able to like, oh, if I need to wear shorts, I can wear shorts.
Boom.
That's
Do you
cool.
need to wear pants? I got them. I got them on me.
Pants, that's fine.
Yeah.
But then I took a minute, and maybe I've just been an a-hole from a young age, but I started. I was like, maybe I'm a zipper pants guy. And I'm literally having this conversation with myself, like middle school.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at the other kids that wore zipper pants. I was like,
No.
I'm not a zipper pants guy.
Well, I had one pair, and I'll tell you where it went wrong. Is like when I was a younger kid, like I would I had my BMX bike and my skateboards, and what went wrong is when I fell one time in the zipper deal. I landed right on my knee on that, and that was like the most painful thing I had experienced at that point in my life.
oh
I
yeah,
was
it
like,
sucks.
yeah.
Well, it's like it's like kneeling on a pebble.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's something that really should not hurt. Oh, it hurts so bad.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I realized that was not a.
This is
pebble
a time of the year where I'm stuffed up for about 4 months. Like it doesn't get freed up till like April.
Yeah, I come on that same train right now.
Yeah.
Especially I got a kid in daycare, one in kindergarten, and my wife's a teacher. She teaches first grade, so
Good luck.
we're basically gonna be sick for the next like 5 years.
Yeah. I don't even have any kids. I don't even know where I get this shit from.
Probably from me from hanging out right
probably,
here.
Yeah, probably.
You're welcome.
Yeah. This week's podcast episode is brought to you by Fuel Bomb Diesel Additive, an additive designed for diesel enthusiasts, made by diesel enthusiasts. Ben, take it away.
Hell yeah, dude. So this is our in-house Fuel Bomb fuel additive for your diesel truck. Our biggest thing here is making sure that you can pretty much always have diesel additive on you all the time. You've got a lot of other additives out on the market that they have anti-gel in there all the time. They have cetane in there all the time. They end up being big and bulky bottles. Our standard everyday diesel fuel additive is 1 ounce per 32 gallons, and that's its main job is to make sure that your fuel system stays lubricated and prevents the formation of algae. and it should also help you in colder climates too.
Should definitely help you in colder climates. Along with cleaning your fuel system and maintaining it, it'll also help you bump that cetane number up for a more efficient burn of your diesel fuel. And if cetane is just what you're after, there's the Fuel Bomb Hellfire, which is our straight 8+ cetane enhancer.
Yeah, and you guys asked, and we brought them back. We did go away from the bottles that didn't have the measuring little parts in there. We brought them back for you, so now you can measure out your 1 ounce per 32 gallons for the F-Bomb or 4 ounces per 32 gallons for the Hellfire.
Both these additives are available on our website, dieselpowerproducts.com. Now let's get back to that episode.
All right, well, let's get this episode underway. Thanks for tuning in. This has been in time from America's Diesel Podcast, coming at you from Spokane, Washington, where winter starts day after tomorrow. And you can check us out on any of the normal podcast avenues: Google Play, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you can find us there. Make sure and check out our Instagram, our social medias. We do have a Facebook group. It's called America's Diesel Podcast, the group. You can also leave comments on the YouTube page and reviews, Tyler.
Oh yeah, let's keep those reviews coming in. We are moving up in the ranks, and we greatly appreciate it. All those downloads and reviews, just keep them coming in. Leave a review, 5-star review only on any of the platforms that Ben mentioned. Screenshot that review, send it to podcast@dieselpowerproducts.com. Make sure you include a picture of your truck and an address so we can send a decal to you that looks just like a logo on my hat.
Chew.
And our background. Are you seriously trying to hide that right now with a sneeze? You think that was a sneeze?
Trying to hide
Yeah.
that? If you need parts for you to pick up, make sure and check out dieselpowerproducts.com.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not going to finish the ad. That's it.
Good.
Yeah. Let them know you're a podcast listener. Let me know if you place orders. That's all I'm going to say on that one. And we are doing a Rate My Ride.
Rate or rip.
Rate or
Might
rip.
be rip.
We are capping it at 20 trucks. So by the time you read this, it may very well be capped already, but still send them in, because if we get enough, maybe we'll do 2 episodes. I don't know. But as of right now, it's capped at 20. Send up to 3 pictures of your truck to Corey at dieselpowerproducts.com. Corey's our producer. Say hi, Corey.
Hi, Corey.
Got you on that one. Got him. Nobody says hi, Mom.
No.
Got you on that one.
Not this time. She's sleeping.
Must be an inside joke.
We'll explain it maybe this episode, maybe next one. I don't know. Probably next episode.
Is it because she's dead? Oh, that's fucked, dude. God.
not funny.
That's not funny.
But you can't see Corey right now.
He's laughing harder than you.
He's on, like, level 10.
I'm like, is it because she's dead? And she's just like, yeah. She's just laughing. I'm like, Jesus, bro.
So if you want to know the kind of humor that goes on around here, that's the kind of humor.
You guys are rough.
We're not good people. All right?
We're not good.
Really good without diesel trucks and making jokes. Not good people. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, we are capping it at 20 trucks. Send it to Corey, Cory, at dieselpowerproducts.com. Up to 3 pictures. Send us a mod list and a quick little blurb about your truck, and we are going to rate them on the episode. We're having you send them to Corey because we don't want to see the trucks until it's actually time to review them.
Yeah.
Okay. Winter is coming. That's it.
All right, you guys have a good night. No, I mean, we do this every year.
Almost. We didn't do one last year.
Are you sure?
Or one of the years we didn't do one. Can't remember.
Anyways, we try to do it every year. We do it every other year. We'll just give you advice and what we do to get our trucks ready for winter. Yeah. So
I got a little bit of a list here. A lot of this stuff we've all talked about beforehand, but it never hurts to reiterate. Because I'll be honest, as years have gone on, I feel like I have my getting ready for winter routine pretty dialed in as far as like me and my wife's truck, or like my excursion and my wife's Ford Escape.
yeah, and I think too, there's a lot of people that are moving from, especially areas like California, moving up to other areas that may not have experienced winter. Especially like our Pacific Northwest winters that we get up here. Mm-hmm. It can be kind of brutal. Not necessarily like a ton of snow, but just ice, and just really low temperatures, which can wreak havoc on some aspects of your truck if you're not ready for it. And there's nothing worse than, especially if you don't have a shop But there's nothing worse than working on your truck outside in the winter when it gets freaking dark at like 3:30.
Well, and and at night,
And
or like if you're in your garage and it's not insulated or heated,
it's still cold.
it's still cold.
Yeah.
I still to this day, the 2 times I've done gears, it was never above 30 degrees in my garage.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It does. It does. So, I noticed the first thing on your little list there.
Yeah.
Which I think is funny. So, I went through one winter with my truck already. My truck's 21 Ram 2500 Cummins, of course. And look at the head on that.
It's a good pour.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Barley juice of the day is No Lie, born and raised.
Spokane native
Shout
right
out.
there. Anyways, last year was pretty. I would say it was a pretty mild winter.
Oh, it
wasn't
was
that bad.
totally.
And I when I got my truck, I looked for my block heater, and I couldn't find it anywhere. My cord, and there's so much shit on these new trucks, especially where the heating element actually goes into the block. You can't freaking see it from the wheel. Like, you almost gotta like take shit apart to find if it has a block heater if you don't know where the cord is. And in my infinite wisdom, I never Googled it or looked. I just kind of looked around where I think it would be, and I couldn't find the damn thing.
Mhm.
Like, I don't got one, I guess. Well, in my infinite wisdom, I finally today, after Ben said we're going to do this episode today, I was like, I'm going to actually Google search on where the block heater cord is on these new trucks. Well, within about 2 minutes, I go out to my truck and I find my block heater cord. So I have a block heater. So there's new news for me, which is fantastic. But one thing with block heater stuff, this is what my dad taught me when he had his diesel truck. You don't just like plug that thing in when you get home at 5, 6 o'clock at night and leave it plugged in all night. Those block heaters actually pull quite a bit of energy.
Yeah.
And you will see a difference in your electric bill.
100%.
Especially now with prices going up on everything. It's something you want to keep in mind. You really only need maybe an hour and a half on the cord for it to really heat up.
Well, it also depends on where you are as well. I mean, I
yeah,
get
how
like,
cold
if,
it is.
If you're someone who lives like up in the Yukon,
Sure,
like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right,
Okay, but
right, I get that.
obviously you're probably not. You probably know more about cold weather maintenance than we do. So
Yeah.
if we're talking about like the Pacific Northwest, Montana, North Dakota, like places where it gets real cold.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's not like
Right.
tundra.
Right. So one thing my dad always taught me, he's, plug your truck in, but put it on a timer.
Yeah.
So they make those timers that plug in to your outlet, and then you plug your cord into it, and then you could set it to go off at a certain time.
Mhm.
So like when you wake up in the morning, maybe it goes on, an hour and a half before you get up. And by that time you go out to your truck, it's ready to go.
Mhm.
And that way too, you're not just wasting power keeping your and again, we get like there are areas of, let's say, like Montana and other places that get really, really cold. And if you want to keep it plugged in, all night, just be aware of the fact that your electric bill will you'll see it.
Yeah, like
You'll
on
be
our
paying for it.
we have an app that so we can track our bills,
Yeah.
like, our electric bill usage, like basically every week.
Yeah.
And I have mine on a timer, and you can literally see the
Yeah.
usage spike.
Yeah.
Like exactly and on and off.
Yeah. I've got a couple of those. Have you seen those wireless, the controlled outlets? Have you seen those?
That's
Where
what
you-
I was going to talk about. Yeah.
Where you plug them in and you could like turn it on and off with your phone. I can't remember if you could actually set a timer on them.
So what I have is so 2 things as far as timers go. One, like I mentioned before, if you need or you're going to be getting an extension cord and a timer, first things first, extension cord, get as heavy as you can.
Yeah.
Again, these things pull a ton.
Yeah.
From your house.
Yeah,
Okay.
like you'll see the cord
Yeah.
will actually melt the snow.
Totally within like a foot radius.
Yeah. Yeah.
It blew my mind the first time I plugged my truck in. I did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, spend the money once, buy once, cry once. Get yourself like if you're parking in front of your garage, obviously you don't need to buy a 75-foot cord.
Right.
But spend the money to get if you're not spending at least $25 on an extension cord,
Yeah.
you're probably not buying a thick enough one. Just err on the side of caution. Get
Yep.
a really big, thick one. Hey-o. And it never
Thick
hurts.
boy.
Yeah, thick boy. Personally, I like the extension cords that show a light when they're hooked up to power and that have
Yeah.
an actual button that holds it on. Personally, that's
Yeah.
just me. But as far as your timer goes, that is essentially the weak link between your cord and your house's outlet.
Yeah.
You need to find the timer that has the biggest cord or the biggest wattage, whatever is be able to use, outdoors for generators. Something like,
Yeah.
I'd be like dumb to have a generator plugged in. I get that, right?
Right.
But something that's like, we're not talking about like a Christmas lights one.
Right.
You need to spend, $10, $15,
Get a
$20.
thick gauge one, yeah.
Thick gauge one. Like, just go look at them and find the thickest one you can.
Yeah.
And if that one still seems like it's not quite as thick as your extension cord, go somewhere else and find one.
Yeah.
I can't remember what brand it was that I got. Maybe I'll try and take a picture when I get home because I have to dig it out again. But I have one that's
I got one of those HDX whatever.
Home Depot brand ones.
Yeah, the Home Depot brand, but it's a thicker.
Yeah. This
It's
one
one I use for my trailer too when I have to extend my trailer wiring
Mhm.
to out to the street.
But mine has a wireless remote that you take inside and then you can program the remote. So
Oh, that's cool.
I have one, like, not only can you have on and off, but you can have two different times that are on and off. And like I have mine come on every morning at, I think it's like 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
And so that means, and I usually leave for work. Actually, in the winter, no, I take that back. I have mine set at 5 because in the winter I do have to leave early.
Yeah.
That's one of my things on the list too. Leave early, give yourself extra time. Things
Yeah.
take longer in the winter. But I usually try and leave my house, 7:30, 7:45 in the morning. So having it go off at 5 usually gets the job done.
Yeah.
I also actually, when I go out to start the truck, I will leave it plugged in for like that first. I can basically go out, start it, go in, get my coffee, get my lunch, and then come out. And if you're plugged in, you're pretty much
It's
good to
warm.
go.
Yeah.
But I'll leave that in to help kind of get it warm. The only other time that I'll actually, it's one of the things on this list as well, as far as how long to let your truck warm up. There are folks out there that are like, until the heater starts blowing hot. Well, if you sit there and let your truck idle for a long time, it might be a little long, especially if you drive a 7.3, a cold-blooded 7.3.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, some of these newer trucks heat up pretty damn quick. Like
Mhm.
my truck, I've got, I would say within about 5-10 minutes, she's blaring hot
Yeah.
air. I mean, it's pretty quick.
if you have like on my Excursion, I have an Edge Insight, so I can actually read oil temperature. My rule of thumb that I use is if it is like actually really, really cold outside, and I know that's been like freezing the whole time, I won't leave the parking spot until I'm at least 60 degrees of oil temperature. And then depending on where I'm driving, I won't get on the freeway until I'm at least, 80 to 100 degrees of oil temperature.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it might take 3 minutes for me to get up to like 60 degrees. Usually it's a little bit faster than that, but it might take a little bit of time. But once you start driving, that 60 to 100 happens real fast, obviously, because you're
Yeah.
building cylinder temperature. And during that time, I'll kick it up to high idle and everything like that.
Yeah.
But again, that's like I'll get out, start the truck, clean the snow off. That takes a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So that basically gets you up to oil temperature.
Yeah.
And that's just the main thing for me. Obviously, 7.3s and 6.0s, HEUI injection, oil is key. So like you literally, like, if you start driving 7.3 or 6.0 before the oil is like thin enough,
Yeah.
like your truck will run like shit.
Oh yeah.
Like literally, it'll feel like you don't have any throttle because the oil just can't do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
Windshield maintenance.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate cleaning windshields off and shit. Especially
kinda
when
like
there's a lot of I hate it. I hate it.
It's, to me, it's a very
And
rewarding process.
I hate it when there's like, if you let's say you show up like at home, right? Obviously at that time, if it's snowing, there's snow out. You know everything's melting when it hits because everything's
Mhm.
warmed up, right? Let's say you forget to put your block heater on, and that all that shit freezes. Like that is the worst.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate it when my windshield wipers don't work good.
Mhm.
Like I'll be out there, I'll have them running, and I got my window down, and I'm just waiting for that moment those wipers come up to my hand, and I grab it and slap it against the windshield,
Mhm.
like trying to break the ice off. Honestly, a lot of times if you got your block heater on, that kind of helps with that a ton. Like it just gets that heat going quick, and helps defrost that super quick. The Rain-X thing, you got Rain-X up there.
So I'm very anal when it comes to windshield stuff.
Obviously, you made
yeah.
this list.
So for me to clean a windshield, I have a process that I learned when I was working at a GM dealership. And I saw this guy doing it, and I was like, you are insane.
Yeah.
But then I started looking at his windshield. I was like, this guy has like the most crystal clear windshield
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my life. So first off, the cleaner you use, it's called Sprayway. Costco sells it. You can find it at O'Reilly's and stuff like that. But it's it comes in an aerosol can, and when you spray it, when it hits the windshield, it foams up.
Yeah.
That is the best spray for cleaning windshields. I don't care what anybody says. That is the best. The process I do is I do Sprayway, wipe it down, with some good elbow grease with like a blue paper towel, and then I will do more Sprayway, and then I use Quad Aught steel wool. Sounds crazy, right?
Yeah, it does.
But so that's like 4 zeros.
Yeah.
The finest steel wool you can buy. Don't use 3.
I thought you were
Don't
gonna
use
put
2.
that like in your truck as far as like a survival method, like using that to create a fire.
No,
I thought that's why that was up there.
I clean the windshield with it.
Have you ever lit steel wool
Yeah,
with
cool.
like a battery?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's cool as shit.
but I will. It's
I'd
basically
buy steel wool just to sit in my garage and just light it with a battery and just watch it.
But it's the same idea as far as like clay barring your paint. It's like a very, 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 very.
Will that get rid of water spots?
It helps a lot with water spots. Yeah. It will get rid of a lot of those not imperfections, but a lot of stuff that's kind of ground into the windshield.
Yeah.
And clean it off there, and then spray away one more time. And this time, you're going to put a lot of elbow grease into it. And when I mean that, you're basically buffing the windshield. Like you should be rubbing.
Sounds like
it.
I need like an afternoon to do your windshield treatment here.
It doesn't take that long. And then after that, I will
Do a spray away again?
No, I'll use Rain-X. And most people don't do Rain-X correctly. Rain-X is like it makes the windshield cloudy, and it's when you're supposed to like, okay, once it's cloudy, then you rub it off.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You're basically putting a layer on the windshield.
Yeah.
You need to put elbow grease into Rain-X, and you are buffing the windshield basically until it is crystal clear. And then of course, new wiper blades. I usually, I replace wiper blades probably more than people should just because I'm anal about it.
Yeah.
But at least once a year, and that one should last you till the rest, through summer because obviously you don't use your wipers in summer a whole lot. But get something that's, don't cheap out. $20 a blade, okay.
Yeah.
$30 a blade, okay. Usually whatever Costco has on sale, that works too. They usually have, if you're in the area like up here in the Pacific Northwest, they sell winter rated windshield wipers that won't freeze on you.
Yeah.
But getting those on there, and that makes a huge difference as well, because if you can't see, you can't drive.
Yeah. Or you could be like that guy that does this.
Yeah, you're looking through like a 8-inch hole in the windshield you cleared off. That actually brings me to, we're going to be going kind of out of order on here, but like a windshield brush or an ice scraper.
I like that. I like the Eagle Claws.
Eagle Claw is great. The one thing that I like, I'm going to sound lame when I mention this, but like I had this brush that I didn't know for the longest time extended. Okay. So I'm driving these
You're
large...
talking getting rid of snow, though, like, right, with
Snow,
a brush?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what the best thing is? Have you seen those foam? It's just like a foam rectangle that's on a stick.
Mhm.
That's what you get rid of the snow with. Because you use a brush, I mean, you can scratch your paint.
You can, yeah.
You scratch your paint. You got to be careful. Like, I've seen people, like, using, like, their shop broom that they sweep their floor with,
Oh, no way.
using that to get the snow off. I do have, like, my washing brush.
I use that at home.
To like it's a soft bristle, which I'll admit I've used that a couple of times to get snow off, just because it does extend and it's a soft bristle, like, and I'm not using it on my floor.
Yeah.
But don't use your freaking sweep, your shop brush to clean snow off your truck like that. You're just asking for a bunch of scratches,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be devastated next time you go to wash that when the snow is gone.
With the one of those scratches.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you get those in your car, get those ready. Pro tip, like I mentioned before, having one at home in the garage and also one inside, because we all know when you first open your door, all that freaking snow falls in.
Yep.
So having one to brush the door off before you open it,
Yeah.
definitely a nice thing.
Yeah.
The other thing with opening doors, if it's an old vehicle, a lot of times your door seals have gotten old and they've dried out a little bit.
Yeah.
When they dry out and they kind of get wet, then they'll freeze, and that's when you start getting the door. It's unlocked, and you start yanking on the handle. The door won't come out or won't open because it's frozen.
Yeah.
Couple of tricks you can do there. And if you don't know what to put on there, the best idea I can give you is if it gets cold outside, and you're thinking like 1 year I sprayed like my interior detailer.
Yeah.
It smelled good. I had it, and I just sprayed on a rag and literally just wiped the door jamb seals.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's probably working pretty well. You know, it didn't stick and it smelled good. And then I came out after a cold night and I found that it was like slushy. And I was like, because I stored it in the garage, I was like, well, that's not going to work anymore.
Yeah.
So what I've tried to do is petroleum-based products. So like literally a little bit of Vaseline.
Ooh.
Now, it sounds crazy, right?
Ooh.
But like, or anything like chapstick too. You know, like,
Multi-use.
get some of that on a rag. You don't have to like lather them up. Just
Ooh,
like a
lather
little bit
that
on there.
baby.
It's just something to help break that seal between that frozen metal and that frozen rubber. A little bit of petroleum on there, or like Vaseline.
Oh,
And honestly, if you really work on cars, you probably have Vaseline in your toolbox anyways, because it's great for holding on gaskets and ball bearings and stuff like that.
Get a little Vaseline on
Yeah,
it,
you're all slippery.
baby.
Also, freaking floor mats.
Yeah, get yourself some WeatherTechs.
WeatherTech,
Protect your
Husky.
interior.
If you got to have something ASAP, Costco sells generic floor mats. They're not going to fit as well as Husky or WeatherTech, but get some floor mats in there. You'll be amazed how much that stuff. Even if you just have winter floor mats, get some shitty floor mats for the winter. And make sure they have nice deep grooves in there so it catches all the water and all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
And you'll thank yourself. When springtime comes around, you go for that first wash and you realize your floors aren't jacked.
Yeah.
And we are going to circle back to fuel additive because I know everybody's thinking about that right now.
Yeah.
Tire pressure. In the winter, I do drop tire pressure.
I jack it all the way up.
You would. No, you don't.
You gotta hit that honey, baby.
That's Mark.
Oh, I do. I try to get it to 100%, and it just won't stop at 95. I don't get it.
Well, Mark was driving around with like fairly used tires. Like he didn't buy them used, but like his tires were like towards the end, and he didn't like his tire light. So he was driving around his 2500 release springs long bed in the winter with like 70 psi in the back because when his tire lights coming, I was like, Mark, drop the pressure for the love of God.
Well,
Drop
what
the
sucks
pressure.
is like even on my truck, the tire pressure sensor, it's set to 60 psi.
Mhm.
So anything below 60, it kicks the light. Like I got one right now. It's like right below 60. It's like 5 below 60, and it's kicking the light on me. And I'm just like, I ain't gonna change it.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna change it. Yeah, there's no need. But yeah, dropping tire pressure just creates a larger contact patch for the tire on the road. Gives you a little bit more traction. That definitely helps. I mean, it definitely helps.
And I would say good rule of thumb there. Like, so on my excursion, I've got like almost a 34-inch tire on a 16-inch reel. And right now for summertime, like for road tripping, I run, I think like 65 in the front, 60 in the back.
Yeah.
I'll probably drop down to 45 in the front and maybe even like 40, possibly even 35 in the back, maybe 38.
Yeah.
In the winter, basically what I'll do is I'll start dropping pressure till the sidewall just, blows just over what it was before.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as I see the sidewall just start to like, I'm done. That's it.
Yeah.
I just want that little bit of extra flex on the tire. And that tends to really help out in the winter, especially if you're someone, if you live somewhere or in town where it snows a lot, especially if you're getting up and you got to get to work before the plows get out there and you're actually driving on snow.
Yeah.
Extra contact patch helps out a lot.
Well, yeah. In regards to that too, there's sandbags for the back of your truck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially like me, long bed truck. I'll be honest with you. My truck last winter was probably the worst driving winter truck I've ever owned.
Well, especially those factory tires.
Those tires are so shit.
Yeah. Those Transforce, whatever the hell those are.
They're junk. I just turned 30,000 miles in my truck.
And they're toast.
They're completely toast.
I was
like
shocked.
front and back. Like
Yeah.
I haven't even rotated them. Like why? So tires.
Yeah.
Make sure you got good tires. Or at least, I mean, like especially long bed guys, throw some weight in the back of the truck. Grab some sandbags. They're cheap.
Mhm.
Grab 5, 6 of them, whatever, maybe even more. Weight helps you get traction. I mean, when you especially long bed trucks, you got nothing back there basically.
Yeah.
Unless you're just driving around on 4-wheel drive all the way, everywhere. which like last year I pretty much did, just because that truck was a freaking lead sled, man. Like I'm like I said, that was the worst driving winter truck I've ever owned.
And that brings
And I'm
me-
excited for this winter.
And that brings me to the next one. If now is the time. Obviously, by the time this comes out, it's going to be probably late October, maybe early November. You should have had your truck in 4-wheel drive at least once already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before the snow hits, before it gets really cold,
Make sure your 4-wheel drive.
make sure your 4-wheel drive works, because you don't want to find out that you have a blown hub.
Yeah, well, especially too, like second gen guys have a vacuum assisted or the vacuum actuated front differential. Make sure that shit's working, man.
Yeah.
It's a relatively reliable system, but there's still problems with it whenever you're dealing with vacuum lines and an actuator, especially if you don't use it, use it a lot. It's a diaphragm in there that needs that vacuum to be able to pull and engage that 4-wheel drive. Just make sure it's functioning. I mean, there's nothing worse than putting it in 4-wheel drive and then not getting 4-wheel drive when you need it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there's been times I cannot freaking stand the guy that is too proud to put it in 4-wheel drive when it is icy. You are a dick. Okay, You're an asshole because. Well, you are.
Yeah.
Because you're sitting there spinning your freaking tires at a stoplight, and then, guess what? You're the only one who makes it through the freaking stoplight because you're the dick that decided not to put it in 4-wheel drive just because you have a big truck and you think you can just make it. Like, don't be a dick. Put it in 4-wheel drive. Traction's fun. Traction's cool. Yes, there's times where 2-wheel drive is fun and you can drift around and have fun, basically only in parking lots. But if I'm behind you and I see you just sitting there spinning, and you're not doing shit, like I'm gonna honk my shit at you, and I'm gonna be pissed because it's like, end of a long day. I'm trying to get home.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to freaking get home.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be behind you the whole time, just spinning your 2-wheel drive bullshit because you think you're just too cool for 4-wheel drive.
I never understood that. Like,
I think having traction in wintertime in snow
that's a flex.
is better than not having any. Like there's again. Go to a parking lot. If you want to go roll around in 2-wheel drive and have fun, go to a parking lot and spin donuts all day long or all night long, whatever you want to do. I don't care. But when you're in traffic, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Throw it in 4-wheel drive. Like, come on.
You should be.
100%. I'd throw my truck probably in 4-wheel drive, like driving to work and stuff. Like, I'll probably throw it in 4-wheel drive maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Just when I know I need it because I'm watching everybody else and I'm watching the road. And I don't want to be that asshole that's just not going anywhere.
And that leads us into another good, which is give yourself extra time.
Yes.
Okay? Wintertime, things just take longer. That's the way it's going to be,
Yeah.
especially those first couple of snows. If even in Spokane, it snows every year. The first couple of snows, the plows always take longer to get out.
And people act like they've never seen snow before.
Yeah, or they're like, I didn't think I need my snow tires yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You should already have snow tires on. Like, it's not illegal.
Yeah.
You should do it. But that's one of the things I never understood. Like, it's what's the best way to put it? When I was still on the sales calls, it always cracked me up when I would hear from. Actually, I am. If you're in Texas, you may have heard of. Wow, why am I blanking on his Centex Diesel? It's Central Texas Diesel, New Braunfels. Logan is the owner, and I met him way back in 2015 at ATS, and we've been friends ever since. They do buy a decent amount of parts from us. I send people his way. Like if you're ever looking for someone in Texas, he's if you're New Braunfels, that's him. But it's always funny when you see a place that shuts down or a whole place, we'll get a notice like, hey, someone in Texas like, warehouse can't ship out right now. And you look at the weather and they literally got like an inch of snow
Yeah.
and it's like 38 degrees.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, like, and my wife, she's a school teacher. It's like, our kids still went outside for recess.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
if there's a foot of snow on the ground and I show up like, I don't know, 10 minutes late, it's kind of like, fuck's wrong with you?
Right.
Like it snows every year.
Yeah.
You've got a big truck. It's 4-wheel drive. You got big tires. Why the hell couldn't you unless you have an actual reason. Like there's no reason to be late in winter. There are extenuating circumstances. Like I will say,
A wreck,
like
whatever.
there have been times where I've left legitimately. Like I know it's like it's big fat flakes coming down the night before and it's supposed to snow all night.
Yeah.
I'm expecting like 2 feet, and in town.
Yeah.
I know 2 feet doesn't sound like I'm like 2 feet in town. It's mayhem,
Oh yeah.
and I will.
Lanes disappear. There's only,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And I know I have to be at work. Let's say by 9. I'll be like leaving my driveway like 7:30.
yeah.
And there have been times where I've gotten here like 5 minutes late.
Oh yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't know Spokane, but like I've gone from, I live up by 9 Mile. I've
Yeah.
gone all the way down.
Well, he's basically traversing the entire town of Spokane. He's on
Yeah.
he's on like the full west side of Spokane.
I mean, as far northeast as you can get without being in Spokane.
Northwest.
Northwest, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
If you drive 2 more minutes north of my house, different county.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like way on the far. So he has to go all the way through town essentially to get to where we're located is right on like Spokane Valley line.
Mhm.
But yeah, he has to go all the way through town. I am like just north. Like I basically have a straight south path all
Yeah.
the way, and I have a highway that goes basically the half of it the whole entire time, which is nice. And then I kind of take like a back road basically all the way into work.
I've had to
but-
drive almost to the airport in Airway Heights, down, past Geiger, up onto the South Hill, down again, and squiggle through downtown to get into work.
Yeah.
That was one of the ones that took me almost 2 hours to get here.
Yeah, that's
And that was because there was like there's things called arterial streets, which were like they're artery streets. Those get plowed first. Those get plowed the most.
Yep.
If you're trying to get somewhere, you need to be on those streets. And there was just like every artery was absolutely trashed.
yeah.
So I'm plowing through like, any side street I can find. There's a foot of snow still.
Yeah.
People are trying to shovel themselves out of driveways, and I'm smashing by things.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it's kind of fun. A little Wild West action. but-
I like blazing through fresh
Challenge
snow.
accepted.
Yeah.
So again, give yourself extra time. You'll thank yourself later. Let's see here. Check your hubs. I think we nailed pretty much everything except the last part. Oh, what to keep in the truck?
Oh, dude, gloves. Good gloves. Maybe a shovel. One of those foldable shovels. A toe strap. Hats. Like I got 2 like beanies in my rig right now that I just keep in my truck.
Mhm.
Tools. Lights. A flashlight. Beer. A flask.
Yeah. Like the very, very short version of what I have. I have a strap. I have 2 soft shackles. I have gloves. I have a headlamp. I've got some granola bars that are probably expired now, but if I had to eat them, I'll still eat them. I don't care.
Yeah.
Gloves.
Yeah,
gloves.
gloves are huge.
I'm talking like 3 pairs of gloves.
Yeah.
One of them, like, call me a girl. I don't care. When I get in the
He's
excursion
got
in
really
the mornings,
fragile hands.
I know, sometimes the steering wheel is absolutely frigid. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
And you gotta drive.
7.3 heater probably doesn't heat up.
It's true. If you drive
Yeah.
a 7 like in the winter, like unless you're on the freeway, your heater ain't coming on. Like it's not generating enough heat yet.
Yeah.
I even have a 203 degree thermostat on there, and it helps, but it's still like I'm not getting heat almost till I get to the freeway.
yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, and I don't have seat warmers.
Yeah.
I wish I did, but I don't. But I have gloves that I wear while I drive if I need to. I have gloves to wear just being outside. Let's say you get stopped and you have to go outside and do something. You don't necessarily have to wear work gloves,
Yeah.
but you just need something to cover your hands with.
Yeah.
So I have a pair of those, and I have a pair
I
of
got a
dedicated work
question.
gloves. Yeah.
What's better, gloves or mittens? Because I've heard arguments
Uh-huh.
for mittens because you've got your fingers together,
Mhm.
and it's like a big like heat trap instead of having individual fingers
Mhm.
together, individually there. So what's better? I mean, obviously gloves are better for like doing things.
So
Yeah,
if you take the
yeah.
dexterity out of it, if you're talking for just warmth, mittens.
mittens,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually,
I don't have
the
a set of those.
the gloves that I have, as far as like just to have my hands not be frigid, I have they're I don't even know what they're called. I guess they'd be convertible, but
I
they're
got
like
a set
the,
of Carhartts, dude.
they're-
They're badass.
they're gloves, and the thumbs are always covered. But then they have a cap that you put on or off for and your fingers are individually wrapped.
Yeah.
So you can still use your fingers if you need to.
But are the fingers completely covered or are they bare when you flip that up?
When you flip them up, the tips are open.
See, you're asking for danger. That's danger.
That's perfect.
That's danger.
I can flip the cap over and have a mitten action.
I know, but it's still like not the same. If you're like working in the cold, now your hands are all freezing.
Well,
Well,
I
you
have
throw
a pair-
your little cap on.
I have a pair of work gloves for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 3 pairs of gloves, and like I just said, I have the pair of gloves to keep my hands warm for just the sake of being warm, and literally they stay in the truck, like
Yeah.
they don't go anywhere. But aside from that, as far as keeping it in the truck, a blanket, and it's not necessarily to keep yourself warm, but a blanket that you can put on the ground if you get underneath your truck.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I carry a jumpsuit.
Oh damn, you're like legit. Well, you got a lot of room in that excursion.
I do, and I also I drive a 20-year-old truck.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
And with 2 kids, like if there's something,
Yeah.
and I've said this before and I'll say it again, but for where I am in life, being a father and a husband and driving a 20-year-old vehicle, if we break something while we're driving and I actually have the means to fix it, but I can't because I didn't have something to be prepared, I feel like I've done a disservice to my family. You know, like I feel like like if we're driving home and I throw a serpentine belt and I didn't have a serpentine belt with me, like that's like, it's low hanging fruit, you know?
My wife just ordered, I think, Uber.
Tyler's ring alert went off on his phone and he's like, what's going
What
on?
did she just get? I hope she got me something.
Did you get Chipotle?
I don't know.
Chipotle?
I want something. I'm gonna see what the bag. Right now, I'm a total asshole because I got my trailer parked right in front of my house.
Yeah.
Because I'm just leaving. Which I invited you this weekend.
I can't go. I
Figured.
figured, yeah.
And I didn't mean not
I
to
asked,
invite you.
though.
It wasn't my boys' weekend, just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I didn't want you to feel bad. I actually felt bad after I invited Ben. I was like, fuck, I didn't invite Corey, but yeah.
No, I'm putting the shackles on the truck anyway this weekend.
Yeah.
Fuck,
But yeah, having that kind of stuff in your vehicle is very important. The other thing here too is for your wife's vehicle. Don't forget about hers either. The main thing, like for my wife, I know that my wife isn't going to be out there hooking up a strap. Okay.
Yeah.
I know she's not doing that, but I put myself in the situation where I'm 20, 30 miles away, out of cell service, or she's out of cell service and she slid off the road. And she's like trying to find someone to help her. I want her to know that if someone is like, and she just needs to get yanked off the road.
Yeah.
If someone stops, she has everything she needs for someone to pull her out.
Yeah.
And she literally has a bag that's labeled straps/recovery.
Yeah.
And so like I've told her, like, if someone stops to pull you out and you're stuck somewhere, you tell them, you have the bag with you, show them like, my husband has everything I need in here. Like, I just need someone to give me a tug.
Yeah.
That's it. And when they open it up, there's an ARB tree strap in there, which is about 15 feet long. It's a toe strap, 2 soft shackles. So basically you can hook up to anything on the Escape or the other vehicle.
Yeah.
Gloves, a headlamp with batteries. There's a knife in there. So hopefully it doesn't kill my wife, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you need to cut something.
You need a tug? Well, me too. I need a tug.
Yeah. Bam, you're dead.
Tug for a tug.
Yeah. I hope that's not how it goes, but hey, rules of the road, as they say. Yeah. But like that's the idea. Like I want her to be able to, like, if someone wants to stop and help her, like, oh, I don't have a toe strap. Like, I've got everything. Just,
Well, your wife's got kind of a little bit of a drive, right? Because she's
Yeah.
So like, my wife, she's like in town.
Mm-hmm.
So if something happens to her, she just calls me. I'm like, hey, well, I'll be there. Like,
Yeah. And other part of that too is make sure that you have appropriate cords or chargers for your cell phone, because that is your lifeline.
Yeah.
It never hurts to buy a couple of those cheap battery cells. You don't necessarily have to buy like $100 one that's able to charge your phone 4 times, but it's something that's able to basically get you from like 0 to like 15%.
If that, yeah.
Just
Give you
to like
a little bit of power to make a phone call.
Yeah, assume you slid off the road and your car won't start, and the you can't even get accessories out of it, and you just like, and your phone's dead. It's like it's always going to happen in the worst case scenario.
Do you know what I want to buy this year? I want to buy a whole pack of them. I just enjoy playing with these, like to start fires, but flares.
Road flares?
Oh hell yeah! I will light a flare. I will sit there with like a box of them and I'll just light them off.
Yeah.
Next one. That was.
And then you just got
I
like
fucking
10
love
road
it.
flares
I got
sitting
like
there.
10 road flares. Like,
Going
what
for
up?
like 30 minutes.
What up?
Yeah.
Like, I love lighting them off. I don't know. It's just that sound when you.
It's super satisfying.
Oh, it's so satisfying. It's
Yeah.
way better than like lighting matches, like
Uh-huh.
the stick matches, the firm ones.
Yeah.
I'll light a whole pack of those off just
Shit,
for fun.
It's fun.
I'm a freaking 4-year-old.
Light shit on fire is fun. Okay, lastly, and it's the
Yeah,
low
better
hanging
hurry
fruit
up
that
because I
we're,
gotta pee already.
yeah, fuel additive. Worrying about gelling and stuff like that. There's 2 things you can do to help with gelling. One, and it's honestly it costs
I
almost.
can't hold it. I can't
Okay.
hold it. You talk to Corey about gelling.
Well, no, when you go pee, me and Corey talk about
We
music.
do
I
music.
like jelly.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, music review.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I sent a video to Corey today,
Yes.
and if you've never heard of it, it's called "Emo's Not Dead,"
Right.
and it's Matt something. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he does this thing where he basically goes from a normal person, and all of a sudden he snaps into like the skinny black sweatshirt with the black hair and the eyeliner, and starts singing, early 2000s post-hardcore emo songs.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. And today it fully fished me and got me, and I sent it to both you and Ash because I had dirt bikes and emo in it.
Is Ash like emo guy too?
He's aware of it, but I sent it mostly to
Okay.
him because he's probably
Dirt bike
heard
guy?
that song before,
Okay.
but it included dirt bikes. And so I was pretty sure he'd be like, "Oh, dude, that's Blake and Blake's compound, and blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah.
that's actually this riding the bike or something like that." But this one is it was Chiodos, and they actually had Craig Owens in the video riding a dirt bike.
Yeah.
And it's freaking awesome. Totally worth it.
That was a good one. I was like, did he like send me like the wrong video? Why is he send? Payoff worked.
Yeah.
Payoff worked.
And the videos always start because he's usually talking to his wife or something like that, and a turn of phrase or something is said that's a lyric from like Taking Back Sunday
yeah.
or what else, or like a
Probably Under Oath.
Under Oath
yeah.
or The Used
yeah.
or something like that, or My Chemical Romance or something like
MCR,
that.
yeah.
And then when she looks back at him, he's instantly in like black hair and eyeliner and singing stuff at the top of his lungs. And he basically makes his own music video of him reenacting the entire song. And it's just good. It's good.
He's mine now.
Yeah. Freaking love Chiodos.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to fuel gelling.
Oh.
By the way, if you guys like the random music interludes that me and Corey have, let us know. Because I feel like there's like a very narrow audience that actually hits that. Because I know we have a lot of
very.
guys that are older than us that listen to the podcast, and they're like, "The fuck cares?"
Yeah.
And we have a whole bunch of guys that are like way younger. They're like, "What is MySpace?"
Right.
And then there's like this like age of like, I don't know, 34 to 39-year-olds ish.
Yeah.
That hear it, they're like, "Oh my God, Chiodos! I haven't heard that word in like 15 years." The Used? The Used? Bert McCracken? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
These psychos.
yeah. So gelling, there's probably the single best thing you can do that actually doesn't net cost you any extra money for gelling. It's gonna sound crazy, right? Keep your tank full.
Yeah.
That's probably the single. No extra money, no extra whatever.
Well, let's get real about gelling here. Most of the country that experiences winter, it's not a problem.
Mhm.
There are, again, like we mentioned in the beginning of this, there are areas of the country, like I'm going to bring up Montana because I know Montana gets cold as shit.
Yeah, North Dakota.
North Dakota, the like northern Michigan or like Minnesota,
Mhm.
they get really damn cold. Can they experience gelling? Yes, but it's very few and far between. The diesel fuel that you get at the pump is actually rated to a relatively low temperature.
Mhm.
Me personally, I've lived in this area my entire life. I have never experienced any gelling,
Mhm.
like at all. It's not a problem. But what did I get for Uber? Did I get anything? She just said yes. Sucks. I probably didn't get anything. But anyways,
You're about to see another delivery come through real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I forgot about tire.
But yeah, it's there's additives that you could get. Are we doing our additive for winter again?
No. So back in the day, we had an F-bomb Ice, F-bomb, and Hellfire. And what we found was that really the standard F-bomb
Did it?
it
Already.
has enough to really keep anything from gelling up.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what we go with now. I recommend that. But what we're saying is the only time you would ever really experience any kind of anti-gel, or I'm sorry, experiencing gelling is, let's say you bought fuel in Arizona in September, August,
Yeah.
because obviously Arizona is not going to have winter diesel fuel.
Right.
So let's say you bought like 100 gallons of fuel and somehow made it all the way to North Dakota, and it was damn cold in North Dakota. Then you might experience some gelling.
Yeah.
But basically anywhere that actually has freezing temperatures, the fuels are already pre-treated. And you may notice this because in the wintertime, if you don't change your driving habits, you seem to get worse fuel mileage.
Yeah.
Even though it's colder, you should be getting, your engine should be performing better because it's colder, right? Boost weather, quote
Yeah.
unquote.
Yeah.
But you're not. And if you take away the fact that you're usually idling more because you're warming up the car more often, but it's the extra additive they put in there that from the pump that is, getting you a little worse mileage in there.
Oh, we got to see this. Sam just sent us something.
Oh God! So Sans sent all the sales techs and all of us a message. So
How do I look at it big?
Sans the Duramax man.
How do I look at it big?
Is someone's car on fire in the parking lot or something?
Well, I have the smallest little video. Sans, your video is small as shit. How do you make that?
We're trying here. Hold on. Let me see if I can
Oh, I
change
gotta
it.
download it probably. Why? Why is it so small? I can't even
Okay,
see
here.
it.
So I'm gonna try this here. It says,
Only in Spokane are you going to find a 30-foot freaking fifth wheel being towed by an 80s Toyota.
Whoa! So that
was
goes
a
to
big
our
fifth
towing
wheel.
episode. Half tons? No, you need a quarter ton truck.
"Yeah,
Apparently. Okay. Well, how'd you make that big?
I'm not sure. I clicked it in the right spot, I guess."
He's pressed it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah. So as far as like gelling, it's if you manage to get untreated winter fuel in a winter area. But the best argument as far as like keeping your tank topped off is if you were to take a pint glass of water and then a 5-gallon bucket of water
Yeah.
and put it outside, which one do you think is going to freeze faster?
See, carry the
When it's
two-
cold, obviously.
When it's cold.
Yeah.
Carry the 2.
Mm-hmm.
That down. Decimal point.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say the pint glass.
Yes. Because there's less water to freeze. So by that school
keep it
of
full,
thought,
baby.
if your tank is full, it's going to take longer for it to freeze or longer for it to gel. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, what about the fuel in the lines? Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay.
It's gonna freeze. You're pretty much screwed.
Yeah. No. But as far as like preventing that kind of stuff, you're going to cycle through that fuel pretty quick anyways. Your lift pump
Yeah.
should be doing its job. But other ways to get around that. So if you have, let's say, a fast lift pump, fast makes their own heating element to go on there.
Yeah.
If you have an AirDog, I think AirDog makes their own heating element.
It
to go
goes on
there,
the filter,
on the filter as well.
right?
And then BD
Yeah.
also makes a universal.
On the filter one.
It goes on the filter as well.
Or just start a fire underneath your truck.
True. And this is
Don't
also
do
where,
that.
This is also where a block heater helps.
Yes.
If you start keeping the engine a little bit warmer, less of a chance for fuel to freeze
Yeah.
or gel up, you can have a good time.
Yeah.
And the other way to do that is, of course, the sponsor for one of the biggest sponsors for the podcast, F-Bomb Fuel Additive. We sell them. I can't remember what price they're right now, but it's 1 ounce per 32 gallons.
Yeah.
Maybe if you live in the absolutely just ass cold, 2 ounces per 32 gallons. You can't overdose on it. You can literally run your truck on it if you really want to. It costs
Yeah.
a lot, but you can.
Yeah.
And that would get you covered.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, folks, just make sure, like, the single best thing you do is make sure I wouldn't say, like, if you have 3/4 of a tank, go top it off. But, like, if you're sitting there and it's like,
Well, I think that's a good advice to always have is don't be riding around in the wintertime with a quarter tank and just filling it,
Mhm.
little by little. Like, try to do the whole half tank method, fill it up once,
Mhm.
and then fill it every time you get down to a half a tank
there's
and keep it full.
the other side of that, too, and this is also just maybe
Because if you are stuck on the side of the road and you need to sit
wanna
there
have
with your
extra
heater
fuel.
on,
Yeah.
you have enough fuel to do that.
I look at it as, and not to sound like a super pessimistic, the world is always going to end, everything like that, but let's say the power goes out and I don't have any heat in my house,
Yeah.
or like my excursion is our home now for that time being, you know?
Yeah.
Like
sure.
if for some reason, if it's 12 degrees outside, we don't have a heater, the first place we're all going to go is my excursion.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to sit there, you know, we're going to either drive around and put it on high idle. And, you know, I've got like an almost 1-year-old baby. Like I got to keep her warm. Like I fully
This is another reason why you need a camper,
I know.
because it's like a second home right
It
in front
is.
of your house.
That makes me happy knowing that I would have that at one point. Yeah.
Right.
But that's the kind of like mentality I try and have with that is if things go downhill, like if let's say a power line takes out, a tree takes out a power line in my neighborhood and everybody's down for like days or something like that.
Yeah.
I know that I have a source of heat. I know that,
Sure.
especially like in the winter, I always make sure that I always have an extra tank of propane.
Yeah.
That way, even if things are going downhill, I can still get things hot. I can still boil water. I can still make food, do stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things that I think about going into winter and all other kind of shit. And then the other thing, as far as like keeping in a truck, that I think I can't remember if we mentioned or not. I always try to make sure that I have a proper, snow jacket in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Even to the point it doesn't necessarily, and it's something that needs to always stay in there. And I usually fold it up real nice and tight and like put it in a Ziploc bag and just kind of stash it in a bag in the back.
Yeah.
But like I use one of my old snowboard jackets.
Yeah.
It's something I wouldn't be caught dead on snowboarding nowadays, but or snowboarding in nowadays. But like, it's waterproof. It's got a bunch of pockets. It's got a big hood on it.
Yeah.
And it goes past my ass. It's like that's a good jacket to keep in the truck.
Yeah.
So
100%.
keep that in mind when you're kind of getting your kit all figured out.
Yeah.
If you want to see a video of what Tyler has in his truck, what I have in our truck, let us know. I'll make something happen.
Yeah.
If you want to see a video of what I have in my excursion, because Tyler doesn't have anything.
No, I have stuff.
You open Tyler's emergency kit, it's like a dildo and a bottle of Jack.
Whoa, dildo. Hello.
That's
What
his
the
console
hell?
shifter.
Yeah, that's for my shifter, bro. That's not in the bag. That is out.
Tell you what, this guy has gotten me in and out of a lot of trouble.
You point it at someone and say, "No, you do not do that."
I tell you what, I mean, real talk. If someone came at you and you have a bottle of Jack and a dildo in your hand, you start pointing that dildo
Yeah.
at him like
Don't
aggressively,
mess with
like,
me.
"Hey man, you back up!" And you got that bottle in the other hand, like,
As I'm taking my shirt off,
yeah, like that. I can't. There's a lot of people that would just be like, you know what, I
it's
ain't
not worth it.
signed up for this.
That
You know,
dude
hey,
is
hey.
on a whole other
Yeah.
level.
That's on
Yeah.
a level that I don't want to be on right now. And
And that, my friends,
No.
is how you win every single fight you've ever encountered.
if you like this kind of content, make sure and like and subscribe.
All right, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
We
That
need to
being
go
said,
home. Speaking
folks,
of that, it's dark out.
Tyler's got his food now, so he's got to get out of here.
I don't.
Did your wife get you food?
I don't know. Should I ask her?
Yeah. We're going to wait and find out until Tyler finds out what he got for dinner. Because we know for a fact that Uber Eats came. And we know for a fact that
How
she
do I
has
phrase
food.
that? She just said yes. Do I say, is there, what do I say?
Like, I hope it's tacos.
Is there,
So today's Wednesday.
is there,
Wings Wednesday. Say, oh, is it Wings Wednesday?
is there extra in the fridge? In the,
You're not going to get. See, that's a yes
No.
answer.
there's not going to be extra though.
You can't give her a question where she can say yes or no.
Is it Uber for 1 or 2?
No.
Should I say that?
Just say, oh dang, Wing Wednesday, I'm down.
Should I just say I'm excited?
I'm excited for wings. It's Wednesday, yay! Because you need to either.
I'm just
have
gonna say
her-
I'm excited. See what she says. She probably didn't give me shit.
It's probably going to.
Just she didn't. She didn't.
I
We're gonna
really
find
hope
out.
that all of a sudden, in like 20 minutes, you see another Uber pull up for more food.
I love that battery power. I got 5%. I'm excited.
Is she typing? She's
No.
probably eating.
She's probably eating right now. Damn it.
It's like, ha ha, Ty, ain't got no food.
Would she do that to me, you think?
I don't think she'd do that to you.
What? Oh, she didn't give me shit. She says, "LOL. What do you think I got?"
Wings. It's Wednesday.
No, we don't. We never order
Falafel.
wings.
Actually, no.
Well-
what do you want? Because if you
Tacos?
tell her what you want
Tacos,
and she didn't get you anything, she might order it for you.
well, tacos.
Tacos?
Just- she didn't give me nothing. That's rude. She didn't give me nothing.
See, hey, this is why you listen to our podcast.
Pizza?
Huh? Pizza? Tacos? Burritos?
At this point, just like put anything you can think of.
Chimichangas?
I bet you she's typing. I bet you she got. She's been talking about ordering pho, like
she got
soup.
some pho.
I bet you she got.
Ooh.
Let's see. She's typing right now.
Oh, pho. Do you remember the first time you had pho, Corey?
Yeah, it was Southern California.
No, she.
Me
Oh,
too.
she did. She got. She went like one of those Uber grocery store runs. She got coffee. She probably didn't even get any food. She got gummy savers and some pizza bites.
Is she 12?
Yeah, that's like.
She got candy and pizza bites?
and coffee.
Coffee.
Son of a bitch.
She's 16.
No, I'm not a pedophile.
I know.
Yeah, she's actually 6 years older than I am.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the worst relationship advice, make sure and follow us because we will tell you exactly how to not. I'm just kidding. We're probably killing it.
I should have talked shit to that Uber guy when we were on the podcast. Hey,
Hey,
what you
get
got?
out
What you got in there?
You got coffee? Get out of here.
No, go back.
Yeah.
Go back. Come back with something good.
I said mixed gummy savers.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Better be the tropical ones.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We will see you guys on the next one.
Prestige Worldwide.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at dieselpowerproducts.com.